So, I don't know how it is in your part of the world. Maybe you're in a different country, maybe you're just going into night, or you're just waking up in the morning, I have no idea. But here in Sweden, we're just experiencing the first signs of spring, the first signs that winter has finally let go of its grip on the nature here. And it's very important to sort of connect to that. In many ways, we sort of wake up with the nature. As far as living in the northern countries a lot, the sun comes back and the nature wakes up, and you can feel this vibrance, like I said, everything's starting to just explode into life. And one of the things that I like to focus on quite a bit for my own sake is the fact that we tend to rest naturally during the winter, but when we rest, we tend to collect and experience sort of tensions and even sort of toxins in the body in some sort of strange way. So hopefully when we're doing this, you're going to feel how some of that sort of just generally just releases from your body. So think about it today. Today we're releasing tension and toxins. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit flow today, much like it was last week, maybe just a little bit more stationary in some of the positions. Welcome, and you can just take one of the mats and the three in the room. Great, welcome. For some reason, some of the people who are actually booked into the class are a little bit late today, so that's the kind of just one of these things that happens. So if you suddenly hear the door open or something like that, don't worry about it. It's just probably the last person. I think her name is Jessica that's coming. So, with all that said, we're going to start. So, just taking a position where we can sit with the back straight, placing a cushion under the base of the spine, and as I said before, not so that you're sitting on it with both buttocks on the cushion, but just so that it's under the base of the spine, or the tailbone, if you like. And this just allows you to be able to sit into your position without you having to stress or have extra tension in the body. Rest the hands on the knees, the wrists just on the knees so the shoulders can actually relax, and then gently close the eyes. We're going to start the session today with just some deep conscious breath. So just filling the body with air and then relaxing so the air simply leaves the body. So conscious physical inhale and conscious relaxation exhale. Each time you relax, conscious that the shoulders relax, the body relaxes, and comes deeper and deeper to the earth beneath you. Active inhale, passive exhale. So you're going to find that the inhale is probably going to be twice as long as the exhale. Just consciously feeling the body and then consciously relax. Good. Gently open the eyes. Welcome everybody. It was miraculous. You sort of materialized during the first meditation. That's very nice. Okay, welcome, of course.
Thank you.
So we're going to come into the first position. We're releasing, by the way, tension and toxins today from the body. So when I'm talking about releasing toxins from the body, basically physiologically we tend to put these toxins, or they come into the soft tissues of the body, so between the bones, if you like. So one of the advantages of doing yoga is that we expand and we release these toxins into the bloodstream, and most of them come out actually through the breath. But we can also allow these toxins just to sort of pass into the earth beneath us, and these toxins can be both physical and mental and emotional. So for example, when I left my ex-wife, there were a lot of toxins in my body, emotional toxins, if you like, and it took some time for me to actually just allow those to pass. So it takes the time it takes. It's pretty much like getting into a yoga position. You just do a little bit at a time and don't try and force it. So we're going to come to the knees at the back of the mat. But we're not going to stay on the knees, we're just going to bring the hands forward under the shoulders here. And we're going to come straight into a twist, which is threading the needle. So we're going to take the easy version of it today. This is one of the first positions we're going to do. So we're going to place the knees at the side of the mat. You're going to reach forward with the right hand over the mat without full extension. Just keep the hips exactly the way they are. Just place them and then just place the hand onto the mat. Left hand, same thing. Good. We inhale and exhale the hips back. And we keep the arms straight as we do this. Now, right arm completely straight. We then take the left shoulder to the mat. So the shoulder is going to come basically to the center of the position. And we're going to look out under the right arm. So we want the back of the hand. Good, that's excellent. And we're here looking for an extension from the top of the fingers on the right hand and down to the left hip. So imagine that you're sort of opening up all the soft tissues of the body between the bones, all the way down through the spine and through the shoulders and the hips. Trying to find just a little extra space everywhere, not just in one place. So we feel tension in the body. We tend to focus just on that particular point, and we're sort of missing where everything else is relaxed. So if we're relaxing deeper and deeper into the relaxed parts of the body, that just simply gives a little bit more space to the parts which generally carrying a little bit extra tension. Good, so we inhale, coming up out of the position, and bringing the left hand out parallel to the right. We then exhale, hips back. Again, keep the left arm straight. Now bring the right shoulder to the mat. And look out under the left arm. Good. Just conscious breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe noticing the difference in temperature. Cold air as we breathe in, and warm air as we breathe out. Good. And we gently come up out of the position. Bring the right hand out, parallel to the left. Good. We bring the knees together in the center of the mat. Then we're going to bring the hands back under the shoulders, continuing into cat-cow. So making sure the hands are under the shoulders, make sure both arms are straight, so approximately 90 degrees here with the hips and the back. So you can always look around, make sure that everything's approximately right. And then we're going to move the knees out so they're now in straight line with the wrists or the hands. Look back. You can look on the right side first, curl up the toes into the floor, and make sure the lower leg is straight back from the knee. And then the same thing on the left side. And then bring the body to the center. Drop the head down between the arms and spread the fingers out. So we have good contact with the mat and both elbows straight. Relax the upper back so the head comes down between the arms. Now we inhale and bring the stomach and the back down towards the mat. We lift the head and then we extend the shoulders, looking up to the top of the room. Good, excellent. And then exhale, through the mouth, push up. So again, conscious of the soft parts of the body. Inhale, bring the back down, stomach down, Lift the head and then extend the shoulders. We try and find that little bit of extra space in the shoulders, and then we exhale. Strong exhale and push up towards the top of the room or the sky. Inhale, we bring the back down. We lift the head and then we extend the shoulders to the top. Good. Enjoy the lower back and then exhale. Full extension, and one more time. Inhale, bring the back down, lift the head and extend the shoulders as we look up. And then exhale. Pressing up maximum. We then relax the back, relax the stomach and straighten the feet. Bringing the knees together in the center of the mat. And as I said last week, we're now going to practice the first tiger position, which is a little bit more difficult than the second, strangely enough. But you're going to use the stomach muscles here to pull the knee maximum forward. So in the beginning especially, you can press the toe on the mat as you bring the knee forward. So if you're not sure what that means, you can just watch what I'm doing. So we drop the head down between the arms first, and we're going to inhale the head up. We're going to take the right leg out straight parallel to the floor, and then we're going to bend the knee. Then we exhale the knee maximum forward, past the arms if possible. Here we can place the toe onto the floor, just to help press the knee into the chest, and then exhale, head down towards the knee. Inhale, we bring the head up, we take the leg back bent, and holding the breath, we then straighten the leg. Good, and then exhale, knee to the mat, and head between the arms. Now we do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, head up, left leg out, parallel to the floor. Holding the breath, bend the leg. Exhaling the knee maximum forward, past the arms if possible, and then head down to the knee. Inhale, head up as we take the leg back bent. Holding the breath, straightening the leg. And exhale, knee to the mat, and head again between the arms. Right side, inhale, head up, right leg out straight. Holding the breath, bend the leg. Exhaling the knee maximum forward. Use your stomach muscles. Then bring the head to the knee. Inhale, head up as we take the leg back. Holding the breath, straighten the leg. And exhale, knee to the mat and head between the arms. Good. Left side. Inhale, head up, left leg out straight. Holding the breath, bend the leg. Exhaling the knee maximum forward, keeping the head up. And then bring the head to the knee. Inhale, head up as we take the leg back. Holding the breath, straighten the leg. And exhale down and head between the arms. One more time, right side. Inhale, head up, taking the right leg out straight. Holding the breath, bend the leg. Exhaling the knee maximum forward. And then head down to the knee. Inhale, head up as we take the leg back bent. Holding the breath, straightening the leg. And exhale, knee to the mat and head between the arms. One more time, left side. Inhale, head up, left leg out straight. Holding the breath, bend the leg. Exhaling the knee maximum forward, use your stomach muscles, then head to the knee. Inhale, head up as we take the leg back, bent, holding the breath, straightening the leg. And exhale, knee to the mat and head between the arms. Very nice. We come back, sit on the feet or the cushion if you need that between your legs or under the ankles, and bring your hands to your knees. Relax both shoulders here and heavy in the arms. As you come into hero, I just notice a slight difference in the temperature of your body and also the breath. Maybe some physical exertion, so the breath has simply changed. Maybe the heartbeat is a little bit higher than it was 5 minutes ago. And then we gently open the eyes. Good. So we're going to come forward again, hands under the shoulders. And we're going to reach forward again with the hands and place them on the mat. Good. Then we're simply going to come forward with the feet together and come into Cobra. So at the moment it doesn't really matter if the body is not, or the legs are not on the mat, you're just hanging the body into this position. And we're just going to take a few breaths in this position. So you can imagine that we're basically opening up the front side of the spine all the way up through the neck as well. So we're looking to the top of the room, just allowing all those toxins to leave the front side of the backbone. Breathe. Then we gently release the position. You can walk the hands back here and come back into hero. And again, hands onto the knees, and just again, we relax. Good, so we come forward again with the hands under the shoulders. Same thing, reach forward, place the hand on the mat, and left forward. Forward with the hips, feet together, arms straight, and extend the shoulders. So we're looking towards the top of the room. That's very, very good. Good. So again, it doesn't matter at the moment if the legs are not on the mat. Just to relax the lower back as much as possible here and feel this extension up into the shoulders. So actually what's happening here is that the earth energy is just holding the body into the position and just allowing the relaxation to grow. And then again we release, we come back, and the hands come along the mat and up over the knees and back into hero position. Good. We gently open the eyes. Again, staying on the knees here, now coming into the shoulder lock. So as usual, I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing, just very quickly. And we're going to bring the left hand into the center of the upper back. So basically we can use the right to pull the elbow into the side of the body here, and then we can help the hand up into its maximum position. Now at the moment, my hand is coming to this position, but it doesn't really matter if the hand's down here at the moment. You can end up in this position if you like. It really doesn't matter because, like I said before, 1 millimeter a week, eventually the hands will be together. So don't be too much in a hurry here. So, right then comes over to the shoulder. If possible, we connect the fingers, and then if possible, we then close the hands on each other and bring the thumbs to the outside of the little fingers here. Back straight, neck straight, and deep conscious breath to the stomach. So much like the breathing we did in the beginning here, deep conscious breath, fill the body, relax and allow the air to come out of the body. Then again, deep conscious breath to the stomach, and relax. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So active breath in, passive breath out. One more time. Inhale, exhale. We release the position, bringing the hands back to the knees. Relax the shoulders, close the eyes, and conscious of any contrast between the right arm and the left. And especially in the beginning can take maybe 1, 2, or even up to 5 seconds before we feel this conscious difference between each side. We gently open the eyes, and of course we're going to change sides. So again, if it's difficult, sit on the knees, cushion under the ankles or between the legs or both. In fact, you can take another one here, under the ankles and between the legs would be good, and under the ankles as well. Yeah, so you can relax. 2 cushions.
2 cushions.
Yes.
Okay.
No hurry. Just take your time. Yes, and between. All the way into the knees.
Okay.
Better? Yeah. Yes, and now you can actually feel you can relax there. This is really important. Okay, very good. Nice. We're going to change sides now, bringing the right hand into the center of the upper back. So use the left hand. Gently help the right hand up into its maximum position. And then we take the left over the shoulder. We connect the fingers. Then we start to close the fingers on each other. And eventually we're going to get the thumbs to the outside of the little fingers. And then we again close the eyes if you wish to, and this deep conscious breath to the stomach. So inhale, actively filling the body. And relax, allowing the air to simply leave the body. Inhale. Exhale. So be very conscious of this relaxation. Inhale, actively fill the body. Relax, exhale. So the breath is going to be longer on the way in. Relax and shorter on the way out. You can breathe out through the mouth if it makes it easier for you. 2 more times. And one last time. Inhale. Exhale. You relax. Bringing the hands again back to the knees. Relax the shoulders. Close the eyes. Conscious the contrast now between the left arm and the right. Remember, it can take a few seconds to actually feel this. Just take your time here. And then we gently open the eyes. So, apart from anything else, generally what we're feeling is this extra flow of blood through both arms, and it's obvious when it's on one side first and then the other, but this contrast is really important to understand. And the other thing that this position is very good, it's especially good for females, because when you're sitting in front of the computer, for example, you're like this and you're sort of closing this off, so it's very important to open this up. It's very good for the breasts, for example, and the flow of fluid and blood through the breasts. So this is something that is very healthy for women. So just to have that, bear that in mind. And us guys, we need to work on the prostate, for example. So we're going to do that now. We're going to come to the back of the mat. That doesn't mean that the women can't do this position as well. You don't have a prostate, but it's good to do the position anyway. And you're not going to notice in the prostate or whether you don't even have one. We're going to do, of course, the pigeon position. So we're going to be releasing the hips. And again, what we're doing here is just opening up the hip joint so that we can release these toxins from the soft tissue of the body. So coming forward again with the hands under the shoulders, and not so much detail as we usually give. So right knee comes to the side of the mat, behind the right wrist, behind the right wrist, höger sida, there vänster, just det, precis. And then lower part of the leg is 45 degrees out to the left. So you can think about the lower leg, it's going to point towards Jessica at the back of the room there. Så höger sida. Ja, Julia, kan du hjälpa honom? Fint. Just det, precis.
Yeah, good luck.
Yes.
As much as it's comfortable.
Then we're just going to gently push back with the left
Then don't go there.
leg.
I can do this.
Yes.
Just that, okay?
And we're going to come down onto the bent leg. Now, what's important is that we have as much support as we need. So if, for example, you can use the bolster, just so you can lie down. And again, the important thing here is that we can actually relax. So place that far enough forward so you can get the chest down onto it, and then just relax the neck. Okay? Or as many cushions as you need.
Okay, thanks.
So we're just going to come down into the position, deep down, forehead to the mat. And we're going to feel this opening on the right side here at the buttock and also in the lower back here. And again, I'd like to encourage you to think about this as almost like breath work to this space or this tension that we can sometimes feel. So you sort of inhale, and then as you exhale, just release just that little extra piece of tension that you might be feeling around the right side here. So not trying to push the tension out of the body here, just allow it to leave the body. And again, it does not matter how deep you are into the position. You could be up on 15 cushions at the moment, and it would not be any different from being fully in the positions, because everybody has their own limitations, both physically and mentally. And if anybody says they don't have any limitations, then basically they need to do some more yoga or meditate or something, because we all have them. I spent many years as a yoga teacher pretending that I was probably better than I was, as in physically and mentally and everything else. And I realized sort of later on in life that's really quite pointless, because what I'm teaching everybody is to just be natural and be themselves. And I'm doing not that. So now I am. So what you're seeing on camera is just me being who I am, and nothing more and nothing less. Just the same as doing a yoga position. Good. Now we're going to release the position and come back to the knees. So again, cushion between the legs, under the ankles if you need it, just to make yourself as comfortable as possible. Hands on the knees. Close the eyes. And just feel how the right hip now just has that little bit more space. So again, cushion under the ankles here. So you can relax. Yes. That's good. Nice. And then we gently open the eyes. So as I said, what's important here, especially in the beginning, is that you can move. If something's really uncomfortable and you think, oh, well, that's not good, then just move. Just find a position where you can sit as comfortably as possible. And I don't really care if you have half the bedding of your bed around you. You know, you can have duvets and cushions and all sorts of things. You just basically make yourself as comfortable as possible. We, of course, now change sides. So, hands again forward under the shoulders, and now taking the left knee to the side of the mat. Lower part of the leg points 45 degrees out to the right at the moment. And then we gently press back, trying to get as much of the upper leg and possibly the front of the hip into the floor. Now when I say front of the hip, that means that we're not trying to do this. Okay, so we're not opening the hip here, we're actually bringing the upper leg as close to the mat as possible. And just coming down onto the bent leg. Again, here we can use the cushions or the bolster and as much support as possible. Even extra cushions if you need them. That's the one.
Then you can relax. I think that's better.
That's perfect. That's great. Good.
Is the knee okay?
Yep.
Good.
Again, here we're looking at this tension or the feeling that we want to open the hip as much as possible on the left side now. So you can feel this fantastic stretch. And again, only coming to 100% of what you can do. That is not 100% of what a physical body can do, 100% of what you can do. This is very, very important. If you go beyond that, then basically what you're trying to do is to damage the body in order to get into a position, and that completely negates the whole practice of yoga. Forcing a body into the position isn't necessary. You just need to be patient, compassionate, understand your body, what its limitations are, what its gifts are, if you like, and just work with that each time. And that way we never sort of have this feeling of, oh, we should or shouldn't be doing something. It's just doing what your body can do, and that's all. And it's the same with the mind, same with the breath. Every single part of yoga is basically about coming in balance with yourself and with everything around you. Good. And we gently release the position, coming back to the knees at the back of the mat. And of course, we just go logically through this. Maybe we place the cushion under the ankles first, and then we place the cushion between the legs, and then we sit onto the feet or to the cushions. Hands on the knees. And then we close the eyes, and just now conscious of that little extra space that you're feeling around the left hip. Almost like the body could sort of fall out to the left or to the right. So just sort of play with this a little bit. Move the hips left to left and right to right. Just feel that little extra feeling of space and flexibility that now we have in the lower back and the hips. Good. And then we gently open the eyes. So one of the questions that I got during this week was it was quite an in-depth question in one way, but also very simplistic in another way. And that is that, how does yoga actually help me physically when I'm not practicing the yoga? And here I use the analogy of skiing. Anybody in the room here like skiing? Yes, we've got fans. Good. All right. I do as well, even as an Englishman. And Englishmen are not known for skiing well. And let me put that straight directly. So, but this position that we just practiced is so good for being on the carving. So you just like this. It's like you're sort of bouncing from one hip to the other as you're going down the slope. And it's such a nice feeling to not have that stiffness. So, and this also helps to sort of carve into each time you place the skis into the snow, so you feel safe. And even at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, when basically the legs are trying to do this, you still have this, it's such a nice feeling. And if you don't ski, maybe you should try at some point. But it is an amazing thing to do, and especially if you have control. Quick story here, I learned how to ski really here in Sweden. And my first skiing instructor, at the end of the week, he said, Jonathan, for an Englishman, you ski very well. And I said, my God, is that a compliment? And he said, no, not really. Okay, so we're going to come forward now to lying on the mat. We just come down and we're going to place the hands under the forehead. Lower arms straight across the mat. We're going to move the feet out to the corners of the mat. And here we're going to relax the lower back. So again, we want to now rock the hips left to left, right to right, and then relax completely. Just feel the weight of your head on both of your hands. Position is called Crocodile 1. Good. Now, we're going to bring the feet together in the center, and we're going to repeat basically the position that we were practicing last week, which is a half cobra. So we bring the lower arms onto the mat so the elbows come a little bit further behind the shoulders here. Good, that's excellent. And we're going to not use the arms at all. So basically all the work here is being done in the back muscles. This is really important. And the body is going to want to cheat and push the arms into the mat. Right? So just be conscious of that. We start with the forehead on the mat. And feet together. Toes pointed away from you. And we inhale, lift the head. And then we lift the upper body using the back muscles. So maximum up. Use the back muscles and pull the body away from the mat. And then exhale down. Use the back muscles all the way back to the mat. So make sure you're not using the arms. One more time. Inhale, lift the head. Then we lift the back or the chest away from the mat. Now if you want to check, you can actually lift the arms and make sure you're not using them. Place the arms and then exhale down. So mostly, especially in the beginning, you're going to find that the body's trying to cheat even just a little bit. Inhale, we lift the head. We lift using the back muscles. Maximum up here. Maximum. Don't forget to smile. And exhale down. Good. So generally we're just leaving the arms on the mat and relaxing. So lifting them is only to check. Inhale, lift the head. Lift the upper body away from the mat. Maximum up, maximum up. Good. Just a little bit more. And exhale down. Use the back all the way back to the mat. And then forehead to the mat. And one more time. Inhale, lift the head. Come up. Lifting the upper body away from the mat. Maximum up. When you're at the top, you're going to feel that the elbows start getting just that little bit lighter on the mat. And then we exhale down. And we relax. Forehead to the mat. Bring the elbows forward again. Lower arms parallel with the short end of the mat. Hands on top of each other. And rest again. Forehead onto the hands. Separate the feet to the sides of the mat. And again we can rock the hips left to left, right to right. Just to release that little extra tension that we might be feeling in the lower back. And then completely relax. Good. Now we gently open the eyes and we bring both hands under the shoulders. So here we want to look right and we'll look left. So the back of the hand is under the shoulder. We did this position as well last week. Full cobra. The difference here is that now we're going to relax the back and use the arm. So it's exactly the opposite. Good. So back of the hand under the shoulder. A little bit further back with the hands just. There. Look to the right and the left and just sort of check that they're basically under there. Good. Very good. Now, forehead to the mat, and the feet are still at the sides of the mat. Keep the elbows into the side of the body. Spread the fingers out so we have good contact with the mat. And we inhale, lifting the head into its maximum position first. Now, it's very important we hold this position as we then straighten the arms, relaxing the back. We come to the top of the position. And exhale down. We use the arms all the way back down to the mat. Control all the way to the mat. Good. Inhale, lift the head. Hold the position with the head and neck and straighten the arms. Good. Full extension to the top, looking to the top of the room. And then exhale down. Use the arms all the way back down to the mat. Very good. Keep the elbows tight into the side of the body. Inhale, lifting the head, hold the position, straighten the arms. Be a proud cobra, not excuse me for existing cobra. And then we exhale down, good, and forehead to the mat. One more time, inhale, lifting the head, hold the position, straighten the arms. Good. Just that little bit of extra extension. And then exhale down. Use the arms all the way back to the mat. Forehead to the mat. Hands come forward, under the forehead again. Lower arms parallel to the short end of the mat and rest the head onto your hands. Again, rock left to left, right to right. And then relax. Good. We bring the forehead to the mat and we're going to bring the arms along the side of the body and feet together in the center of the mat. Coming into half locust. Let's adjust my clothes so I'm not talking through my clothes. Good. And at the moment we're going to have the forehead on the mat. And no, Jessica, we're not going to do the full position today. Alright, just the forehead on the mat. Arms nice and relaxed. So again, make sure the arms are relaxed. Elbows heavy. And just relax the arms. Now, focus on having the feet together in the center of the mat. Just feel how that feels to have the heels together. Toes pointing out behind you. Now we're going to start on the right side. So we're going to inhale, lift the right leg straight. Keep the front of the hip in contact with the mat. Make sure that you're not pressing with the arms. So again, we can lift the arms here. Make sure you're not pressing them into the mat. And then we exhale. Place the feet together in the center. So even if you can't see the feet, be conscious of where they are. Left side, inhale. We come up with the left leg. Keep the front of the hip on the mat so we don't twist the back. And then we exhale down, bringing the feet together in the center of the mat. Good. Right side, inhale, coming up. Feel this position, lift maximum. Keep the knee straight. Don't try and bend the knee. And then exhale down as we place the feet together in the center of the mat. Left side, inhale, left leg comes up. Keep the contact, front of the hip. Exhale down. And what's happening in the lower back here is rather interesting, so we're going to take the right up again. Inhale, lift the right. And I want you to be conscious of how actually it feels like we're working more on the left side of the lower back. And then exhale down as we place the feet together. Left side, inhale, left leg comes up. And strangely enough, it now feels on the right side of the lower back. And exhale down. One more time. Right side. Inhale, right leg up. Hold. Arms nice and relaxed. Exhale down. Feet together. And left side. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. Hold. Knees strong and straight. Exhale down. Good. We're going to directly release this position. So you place the hands under the shoulders. You can place both toes into the mat. And we're going to push back with the whole body. Straightening the feet before we come down onto the feet. And then again, hands slide along the mat and up over the knees and into hero position. And just notice now how when we close the eyes, we can be conscious of there's something different in the lower back. Maybe it's warmer. We have a sensation of warmth in the lower back or more space. Sometimes thoughts pop into my head, like things that I've not experienced before, and I just had one of those. It's like the feeling in my lower back at the moment is like a sort of beautiful sunset. It's kind of weird, and you probably think I'm really strange. Well, welcome to the lesson, because I am. And you want to just keep it real. If you see these sort of things or something pops into your head, then just acknowledge them and say, "Well, thanks for that. That's great." And then we open the eyes. So I'm serious. Like this is something that the mind is very good at. It sort of plays games with you. And I think in the over 30 years I've been practicing yoga, I've never had that picture in my head before. So it's quite nice to sort of feel the sunset in the lower back. It's sort of a bit weird, but kind of nice anyway. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to come up onto the knees and come into Cobra. What's important here, as I said last time, is the fact that we need to have the knees under your shoulders. So this also gives you a sort of balance between the left and the right side of the body. It's important. Then we look back to the lower legs, make sure the lower legs are straight back from the knees, and then we curl both the toes up into the mat. And you want in the class last week, what's important here is not whether you can get the hands to the heels. What's important is how far forward the hips go, because eventually when we do this, then the hand eventually will just rest here. But if you don't reach the heels, it's more important to push the hips forward. So you can place the thumbs into the lower back and just push the hips forward. And each time, each week you're doing this position, you just come a little bit further, and eventually you'll be able to just release the hands down to the heels. So there's no point, for example, at the moment of allowing your ego to do this, which is, I'm going to place both hands on my heels, so I then have to move the hips in the wrong direction, place my hands here, which makes it really uncomfortable for the toes, and then Jonathan's going to say, push the hips forward, and this makes it really uncomfortable. Okay? So, trust me, keep the hands on your hips until you're ready. So, arms down beside the body. Check again. Legs, knees, great. Toes, nice support. Inhale, we lift the arms parallel to the floor. We then exhale the hips forward to your maximum back bend, basically. Then, placing the hands either on your heels or on your hips, drop the head back and breathe through the nose. So again, opening here the front side of the spine, releasing those toxins and any tension, and as we're breathing, relax the neck just that little bit more, push the hips forward just that little bit more, so you have no weight on the hands. And then to come up, we keep the hips forward. Inhale, lift the head first. We use the muscles in the neck to lift the head. Excellent. Bring the body up. You bring in the arms again, parallel to the floor in front of you. Straighten your feet. And then exhale as we sit down onto the feet. Keep the back straight. And we release the hands to the knees. And of course here, we can move. Place the knees together if you wish, feet together if you wish, cushions between the legs or under the ankles. Just take your time. It's really important that you take the time to respect your body. So whatever you need to do, make sure that you do it. Trust me when I say I'm not the most important person in the room. You are. Good. Now, we're going to sit to one side and we're going to come into a half lotus or an easy lotus position. So, this again is to just allow the hips to open just a little bit more. Again, releasing these toxins and this tension in the lower back and especially around the hips and the lower back. So, heel of the left foot, center of the groin, and the knee as much out to the side as possible. Use here again the support from the cushions under the hips if you need to, or under the upper legs. As much support as you need. And then placing the heel of the right foot in a straight line with the heel of the left foot. In the beginning it feels like there's an awful lot of instructions basically. But one of the things that I've learnt through my yoga is that once the body is actually anatomically in the correct position, it will do the position a lot easier. So natural position in the body allows a natural position in the yoga. So it's important to remember this. And we're also watching from this center of peacefulness. So how is it feeling there and there and there? No judgment. All right. So we have this position. Now, you remember we were looking at the opening the front side of the spine. Now we're going to open the back side of the spine. So we're just going to come forward into a natural forward bend, and that will depend entirely on you. So you can either have the hands on the floor, just a little bit of support, so you feel like you can come forward there, or you can come down to the elbows. And if you're comfortable with the elbows, then of course you can bring the forehead all the way down to the floor. And eventually you're going to have the arms out to the side, so just in front of the knees, and then forehead comes onto the floor. Now, as I said, when I started doing yoga, when I first looked at this position and what it meant, I was absolutely horrified. I said, well, I'll never be able to do that. And this is something that the ego has a tendency to do. The ego is going to tell you what you can and can't do from its experience. This isn't necessarily the case. So what we can do is reprogram the mind to think in a slightly different way. And one of the things that I encourage people to do, and my students to do, is, or people who come to me for the yoga, is to encourage them to do basically what they can do. No more, no less, just allow everything to be exactly as it is. And then as you do that, then these things start to slowly release from the body and things happen naturally instead of you having to force them to do them. If that makes sense, then you're in the right class. And we gently come up out of the position. And we're going to change sides. So now we have the right heel in the middle, a left heel in the center. You come down again to the hands, the elbows, cushions under the legs or the upper legs or your hips or whatever is making you as comfortable as possible. Good. And just come forward to your natural position, and if possible, arms out to the side and forehead to the floor. And then we gently come up from the position, and we're going to come to the knees, center of the mat. Good. So we're going to separate the knees. And we're going to bring the, sorry, I meant to say that. If you're having problems with your knees, you can always have a cushion under the knees as well. It makes it a little bit more comfortable. Again, I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. Make sure that you're comfortable, especially in the beginning. Okay. So we're not going to make a fist with the hands. And we're going to place the knuckles on the floor just in front or just inside of the knees. And here we're going to relax the lower back. So you can imagine this pelvis is rotating, so it's sort of almost bringing the tailbone up towards the top of the room. Stomach down as much as possible, and then we're going to drop the head. And then inhale through the nose, lift the head, stick out the tongue, and we pant like a dog. Sit back onto the feet and place the hands on the knees. Close the eyes. Just notice that little smile on the corner of your lips, like, what the hell did I just do? And then we open the eyes. We're going to repeat this position, panting dog. All right, make a fist with the hands, inside the knees. Weight of the upper body onto the straight arms. So don't have bent arms, because then you can't support. Straight arms. Allow the stomach to hang down, arch the lower back, drop the head. Good. The reason for sticking out the tongue is not to look as stupid as possible. It's actually just to open the airway of the throat, so it's easier to breathe in and out. All right, so we have the head dropped. Inhale through the nose. Lift the head, stick out your tongue, look as ugly as possible, and pant. Sit on your feet, hands on the knees, relax, close the eyes. Good. We gently open the eyes. All right, so why did we do this nuts position? There aren't sort of cameras in in your sort of apartment or out on the beach or in the forest or wherever, just to catch you on YouTube later. Now, the reason for this is because, as I said earlier, when we're releasing toxins and tension in the body, this tends to come out into the bloodstream, and most of these toxins actually leave with the breath. So if we actually consciously breathe in this way, we're actually encouraging those toxins to leave. And for those of you in the room here, you can leave the toxins behind, and I'll clean them up afterwards. Alright, good. So we're going to come to a standing position. So I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing here. Standing position. Hopefully the person who's looking after the camera is going to come in a second. So we're going to come up onto the knees as we did in the cobra position. You can separate the knees if you like, just a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the right foot forward and place both hands on the knee. Curl up the toes on the left. Inhale. And as we exhale, we simply come forward and straighten the right knee. Good. So it's going to take a little bit of time to actually get used to how we come up and how we come down from the mat. Never mind. What I'm going to do is just move the camera here a little bit, because maybe just going to move the... I usually have a person who does this for me, so you have to excuse me because the camera person who's looking after the camera sort of disappeared from the room. I hope that's going to be okay. Right. These things sometimes happen, and don't worry, it can't see you. So face the front of the room, those of you in the room here with me, and the center of the mat. So face in this direction, towards me. Yeah, I know that the view's not nice, I know. We're going to jump the feet apart, and I want you to land on your toes with bent knees. Then place the heels onto the floor. Okay? This is really important. Alright, so watch once again, for those who at home maybe, just come down onto your toes first. Then straighten the knees, place your heels onto the floor. Now the reason for this is because when a lot of people jump the feet apart, they tend to come down with the heels first. I'm going to show you the difference. If I do that now, that sound happens. And what it is basically is a shock coming all the way up through the body and all the way to the top of my head. Remember all this soft tissue that we've just opened, we now put it all back together again, which is not really the point of this particular class. So we want to do it as gently as possible. So what I generally encourage people to do is to do it as quietly as possible. It's a good way of thinking about it. So you're going to jump the feet back together again, toes and then the heels. Nice! Good. And one more time, we're going to jump the feet apart. Then we come into the position. Place the heels. Good. So when you land, knees bent, straighten, that places the heels on the floor. Good. Now, we're going to turn both feet to the right. So left foot, right foot. The right foot, now, we want to have parallel basically to the long side of the mat. So it's not in towards the center, not past like this, but parallel with the outside of the mat. Now, what we're going to do first is to just inhale and exhale the body out over the right leg. So I want you to feel this extension into the hip on the right side. So the hip comes in first. Then we're just going to drop the hand out under the shoulder. It should be hanging in this position. And I don't mind here if the hand is in this position. Right? What's important is that the hand is under your shoulder. So wherever you come to, what I would encourage you, even if you're really, really flexible, is to have the hand on the ankle at the moment. This improves the balance a lot. Then we open both shoulders and we look up to the left hand. Good. Stay in the position. Good. So we're looking towards the inside of the hand here. So I'm going to just adjust you here so that now you can start to rotate the back. It's that, and as you do that, the arm simply comes up into the position. And again, as I said before, it doesn't matter as long as you breathe. It doesn't matter if you're not fully up in the position yet. Good. Inhale, coming up to the center. And we turn the feet then to the left. Exhale the body out over the left leg, extend back into your left hip, hang the left hand under your left shoulder, and then place the hand onto the leg. So keep the knee straight. Don't allow your ego to think, well, I should be deeper, so I'm going to bend the knee. Keep it straight and just come down into the position. Again, even if you're really flexible, place the hand on the ankle, and then rotate both shoulders and look to the right hand. So we want to keep this extension into the left hip, which keeps the balance. And here it becomes more and more important. We're actually learning to just relax in the position. So I'm just going to adjust you a little bit here. Good. Think that extension. There. Good. Once we've done that, then we don't have to overextend the shoulder. It becomes a natural rotation in the back. Rotate the back. There. Now you can bring the arm forward because now it's overextended. There you go. There's the smile. That's the one. There you go. And then you're just hanging there. You're not actually doing anything. Good. And then we inhale, coming back up to the center. We straighten the feet, of course. And then we exhale the feet together. Good. All right. Now, remember I was talking about the breath and getting toxins out of the body. So we're going to do abdominal position. So we're now going to jump the feet apart again. Toes, then the heels. Good. I'm always terrified of making noise when I do that. And I've just explained that it should be silent. I'm just joking. We bend the knees. So imagine like a sumo wrestler. You bring down the sort of gravity into the lower part of the body here. It's like, okay. So we're going to place the hands onto the knees, and now we're going to hang the body on the knees. So important here that the shoulders are relaxed, so the head just comes down and it's sitting on the top. Make sure that the arms are straight and that you're hanging the body onto the knees. Good. Then we drop the head. Now we inhale through the nose, lift the head, again stick out the tongue and maximum exhale. Close the mouth, pull in the stomach. Release the stomach, head down, inhale. Good, lift the head, maximum exhale through the mouth. Hold the breath, pull in the stomach. Keep the head up, keep the head up, head up, head up, head up. Good, release the stomach, inhale. Then drop the head. Inhale one more time, inhale, head up. Maximum exhale. Without breathing, pull in the stomach. Release the stomach, head down, inhale. One more time, lift the head, maximum exhale, empty the body. Then, pull in the stomach. Head up, head up. Release the stomach, head down, inhale. And then straighten the knees. Some normal breath. Okay, so I'm going to just, it's difficult, especially the first time, so I'm just going to demonstrate this one more time. You just relax in the room, okay? So I'm going to bring the weight down onto my knees first, heels on the floor, toes pointing straight forward, drop the head, may inhale through the nose, lift the head, maximum exhale. Without breathing, pull in the stomach, hold my breath. Release the stomach, head down, inhale. Then I straighten the knees. Good. Now we jump the feet together. One last time. Jump the feet apart, land on the toes. Place the heels. Hands together in the center. A little bit further apart with the feet. Very important here that the toes are pointing straight forward. It's important for the inside of the knees here. Good. hands together. Inhale, we open the chest and the shoulders, pressing the arms back and bringing the hands together at the top. So big circle with the arms. Exhale, we brush the hands on the floor, just the top of the fingers. Lift the arms, look behind you. Inhale, we brush the hands all the way out. Keep contact with the floor as long as possible. Then up with the arms and the body. And exhale. Bring the hands together in the center. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, big circle with the arms, chest, shoulders. And bring the hands together at the top. Exhale, brush the fingers on the mat. Lift the arms maximum behind you. Look behind you. Keep the body down. Inhale, brush the hands all the way out. Up with the back straight. Good, Jessica. Exhale, big circle with the arms. Bring the hands together in the center. And one last time. Inhale. As beautifully as possible, bring the hands together. Exhale, brushing the hands on the mat. Lift the arms maximum behind you. Look behind you. Good. Keep the body down. Inhale, brush the hands all the way out. Up with the back straight. Nice. Exhale, big circle with the arms. And bringing the hands together. Please lie on the back and completely relax. Savasana. So, cushion under the head, under the knees, especially important for the lower back, which is a lot where we've been working today. And make yourself as comfortable as possible. As much as possible here, move your feet to the corners of your mat. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides, which will help the lower back to relax. Having a support under the knees is just this little extra, allowing the lower back to completely relax. Back of the hands on the floor, or palms of the hands on the floor, whichever is most comfortable for you, to get both shoulder blades on the floor. Feeling the support from the earth beneath you with each point of contact from the back of the heels and through the whole body to the back of your head. Conscious again of the breath, the gentle movement of the body without controlling the breath. Be conscious of how the whole body moves with each and every breath. Watching and relaxing the toes and feet. The ankles, the lower legs and the knees. And the upper legs and hips. Relaxing the buttocks. First the right side, and then the left. And then relaxing both sides just that little bit more. Relaxing the stomach and the chest. And relaxing the lower back. And picturing in your mind every single soft part of the body between the base of the spine and the back of your head. The whole of the backbone from the back of the head and again returning to the root of your spine. Almost as if the breath is passing through the top of your head to the base of the spine, and then from the base of the spine to the top of the head. This, of course, is only happening in your mind. But it's almost as if the spine is a third lung of the body. Imagine energetically breathing from the top of your head to the root of the spine, and then from the root of the spine to the top of your head. Relaxing the fingers and the thumbs, and conscious of how the hands are resting on the floor. Maybe the fingers are up in the air and not touching the floor at all. Relaxing the wrists, both arms and the shoulders. And the neck. And your head. Relaxing the small muscles around your eyes, the muscles around the mouth, maybe relaxing the jaw just that little bit more, and relaxing the tongue. The face. Again, conscious of the breath as it passes in and out of your body. In through the nose and down to your lungs. And then from the lungs back up and out through the nose. With each conscious breath, becoming deeper and deeper and deeper into this conscious awareness of everything that surrounds the center of your mind. This place we can return to whenever we wish. A place of silence, compassion, understanding, and infinite wisdom. And when you are ready, slowly, gently, and as beautifully as possible, in a way that is respectful to your state of mind and body, we come up from the mat so that we may finish together. Take your time here, gently waking the body. And then maybe, when we're up, placing the hands in front of the heart. We take a peaceful breath together. We exhale gently forward. Inhaling as we come up. And exhaling the hands to the knees. Namaste. So wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful day or a beautiful evening or beautiful morning, and create this feeling in your body as often as you can, just this release of things that you don't need anymore. So be proud of yourself. You just released a lot of toxins without even basically thinking about it or needing to push them away. They just came out naturally. Have a fantastic day.